there's a playlist for this.
मैं बढ़िया तो भी बढ़िया शादी कर ले सावरिया फूटेंगी फिर फुलझड़ी.
And there's a playlist for that.
नैना दा क्या कसूर वे कसूर वे कसूर नैना दा क्या कसूर.
When life changes tracks, there's a playlist for that. Spotify, now in India.
Music playlists have become a popular sub-channel for the distribution of music. Curated playlists have transformed the way people interact with music by allowing streaming platforms like Spotify and Apple Music to personalize songs based on users' preferences, moods, and even specific occasions. As streaming services take a step further by offering data-driven algorithmic playlists, novel personalization from developing technology poses various implications on the future of music development and creativity, affecting both artists and listeners. Distribution channels are the ways that different modes of communications are given visibility. Distribution channels for music have changed drastically over time as a result of technological advancements as well as shifting tastes and preferences of music listeners. Music has existed nearly as long as humans have existed. However, it is only quite recently that it has become possible to easily distribute and reproduce music. With the recent rise of the internet, CD sales plummeted as digital music sharing took over, which brings us to today's music distribution channels, streaming platforms. In 2008, the launch of the Swedish startup Spotify pioneered a new model which allowed users to listen to an extensive catalog of music. Instead of buying and owning songs and albums, we started listening to ads, or paying monthly fees in exchange for access to essentially all the music in the world. Over the following years, there was an explosion of services. Artists and labels now count on these services for the bulk of their profits from recorded music. The most popular feature that is responsible for the popularity of streaming services is the playlist. The term originated when radio stations began curating collections of songs to better adapt to the diverse tastes of listeners. The ability to customize a playlist to a certain genre was very attractive in the eyes of people controlling the music on the radio station, and they provided more adaptability than traditional albums. Users love playlists because they are able to listen to a group of songs that capture certain moods or suit certain occasions. Streaming services have caught on to this trend and have now started to curate their own playlists. Around 1/3 of users listen to Spotify curated playlists, and another third listen to user-generated playlists. Recently, Spotify and Apple Music began to algorithmically personalize some of their curated playlists, leading to a major shift in how people discover music on the platforms. These playlists are beginning to gain massive influence over how much a song is distributed, and users are depending more and more on these playlists to find new songs.
They have the made-for-you playlists, which can be helpful, the daily playlists. Those are definitely helpful. I've definitely found some cool new music that way.
We're basically analyzing audio to understand musical attributes like tempo, pitch, time signature, and then the cultural attributes of music. So what you like, what your friends like, the language you use to describe music, and we take all this data and basically open it up for app developers to build smarter music apps.
Spotify has 271 million users. Apple Music has 60 million users, and Amazon Music has 55 million users. This massive consumer base means that these companies have an incredible amount of data, which they have harnessed to render personalized playlists. Furthermore, companies like Spotify have capitalized on their technology and big data through data-driven marketing campaigns. For instance, these billboards create stories based on local users' listening habits. Coupled with their playlist advertisements, the enthymeme behind this marketing strategy is that Spotify has the precise data to really know their listeners, which means that their algorithmic playlists can be extremely accurate and personalized. Furthermore, this feeds their brand's ethos by emphasizing the attention paid to each individual user, and furthers the credibility of their algorithms by indicating their ability to provide the best personalized playlist to each user. With storytelling marketing, users are not just merely a data point. Rather, they are part of a greater community and trend in which Spotify connects to consumers through data. In contrast, Apple Music markets their playlists through a different approach. In their 2016 campaign, Apple utilized celebrities to establish their ethos, as opposed to Spotify's emphasis on data. These advertisements exemplify the way brands employ high-visibility celebrities with high Q scores to make their marketing more effective. By using prominent artists like Drake and Taylor Swift in their ads, Apple Music legitimates their platform and thematically indicating to viewers that this is the streaming platform of choice of their favorite artists. Furthermore, these artists use their curated playlists to find the perfect songs for any moment, be it in the gym or elsewhere.
Man, I hate cardio. Activity playlist, running, hashtag gym flow, Drake and Future. All right.
In this new age of music, with playlists at the center of music consumption, artists are now shifting their focus and energy to playlists to gain more exposure. With playlists gaining more followers and influence each day, the songs featured on these playlists are getting the best exposure and streams. If a rising artist wants their song to be heard, getting on one of these playlists can be a key move. A feature on Spotify's popular Discover Weekly playlist can be enough to jumpstart an artist's career.
Depends what sort of artists we're talking about, because they're certainly very beneficial to mainstream artists, because mainstream artists get their record label to pitch their music to certain playlist makers, for example on Spotify, and this creates the whole problem of payolas and stuff. But for the underground artists, it becomes a lot harder to convince playlist makers why they should put you on their playlist and why people will listen to your music.
Playlists with large followings have allowed many new artists to gain rapid success. One such example is Sarah Lee, a pop singer from Maryland who performs under the stage name Ray Amy. Her first ever released song, Snow Cone, appeared on a Spotify anti-pop playlist and immediately jumped from around 10,000 to 50,000 streams per day, amassing over 1.2 million streams in a 3-month period. In an interview with Fortune 500, Lee stated, "I never thought that simply being playlisted would jumpstart my career." With the prospect of a jumpstart similar to Ray Amy's, some artists may feel the need to cater their music in favor of new distribution channels. We spoke to Sammy Sobel, a member of Evanston band Morning Dew, to gain some insight on how the playlist format might affect an artist's music.
So, the way I would speak to that is like, the answer is no. But like, my band is a bunch of jazz musicians, and so like, we do keep in mind like our audience. Like, we kind of tailor our music to like a pop sound, you know, like we're not a jazz band. Like, we don't play jazz music. We want to play like pop music that people want to dance to and stuff. So like, we curate our music towards that goal, but we don't curate it specifically towards a playlist. But we do curate it towards like an audience.
The evolution of the music industry has accelerated in recent years with the introduction of new technologies and distribution channels. Playlists and personalization are beginning to play key roles in the discovery of music. Engineers will continue improving algorithms for optimal personalization, which in turn should increase the popularity of algorithmic playlists and listeners' reliance on them for discovering new music. Artists will continue to try and increase exposure through playlists and may craft their sound to fit certain types of playlists and algorithms. Over the past couple decades, we have seen major developments in the way people create and discover music, demanding rapid adaptation from the music industry. Continuing forward, we can expect curated playlists to play a pivotal role in this ongoing transformation.